Hi, welcome to this lesson about algebra. When you learn about algebra, you have to imagine a scale. Well, this scale is in balance, but imagine I would put a few blocks in here. Let's say 3 heavy rocks. What would happen to the scale? You can imagine what happens because the weight will go down on this side. So the scale would start to look like this. How do I get the scale back in balance? Well, in order to do that, I need to put on the other side exactly the same as what I put on this side to restore the balance. So I added 3 blocks here, so I need to also add 3 blocks there. And what happens then is that the scale will be back in balance. So the rule in algebra is whatever you do on one side, you also have to do on the other side to keep the balance. 16 minus 4 equals 12. But now I would like to add 5 to this side. So I have 16 minus 4 plus 5 equals 12. Well, it's not going to be 12 anymore because if I add 5 on this side, I also have to add 5 on this side. Let's check. 16 minus 4 is 12, plus 5 is 17, equals 12 plus 5 is 17. That is correct. In algebra, they very often work with letters to represent something that is unknown. So they are often looking for something that's unknown, and instead of using a question mark, they use letters like A or B or X or Y or whatever you want. Let's take a look at this problem. A plus 3 equals 5. You probably already know what A is. That is 2. But how can you prove it? A is my mystery guest. I don't know what it is. It's my question mark. In order to isolate A, I need to get rid of this part, the plus 3. How do I do that? Well, if I want to get rid of plus 3, I need to take away 3 because plus 3 minus 3 is 0, is nothing. So what do I get then? I get A plus 3 minus 3 equals 5. And whatever I do on this side, I also have to do on the other side. 5 minus 3. What do I have left over now? I still have my A. And now I have plus 3 minus 3. That is 0. So there's nothing left. And here I have 5 minus 3 is 2. And therefore my answer is A equals 2. A plus 12 equals 26. Again, A is my mystery guest. What is A? If I want to find out what A is, I need to make sure that there's nothing left over here. Well, I have 12. If I want to get rid of the 12, I need to take away the 12. So then I have A plus 12 minus 12 equals 26. Now whatever I do on this side, I also have to do on that side. Minus 12. So what do I have left over? A plus 12 minus 12, 0, equals 26 minus 12 is 14. In order to make sure if I did it correctly, I can always put this a back into the first problem I started with. And let's check. If a is 14, then it would mean 14 plus 12 equals 26, and that is correct. 6 plus a equals 18. Now what's happening? I still want to know what a is. So I would like to get rid of this 6. The same thing. I can do 6 minus 6 plus a equals 18. And whatever I do on this side, I also have to do on this side. So what do I get now? 6 minus 6 is nothing. Plus a, so I have here a plus a equals 18 minus 6 is 12. So a plus a, or I can just say a equals 12. A minus 3 equals 10. You might already know what the answer is. It's 13, but let's prove it. I would like to know what a is. That's my mystery guest. I have here minus 3. How do I get rid of minus 3? How do I make that into 0? Well, if I have minus 3, I need to add 3 to come to 0. So minus 3 plus 3 equals 10. And whatever I do here, I also have to do there. So now I have a minus 3 plus 3, which is 0, equals 10 plus 3 is 30. Now let's do a little bit of a complicated one. I have 7 minus a equals 4. How am I going to solve this? My mystery guest is here. It's a. I have 7. Well, to get rid of 7, I can do 7 minus 7 minus a equals 4. And whatever I do here, I also have to do there. Minus 7. 7 minus 7 is 0. So I have left over minus a equals 4 minus 7. 4 minus 7. You can think of it as an elevator going down. This is the ground floor. You are at the first floor and you have to go 7 levels down. You first go 4 down to ground floor and then you have to go another 3. So you end up at level minus 3. So minus a equals minus 3. And then the rule is that it means that a equals 3. And we can test it. Let's put this one back into the machine. 7 minus 3 equals 4. And that is correct. You can also do algebra with multiplications. And this is how it looks like. You have 2 times a. And that equals 8. How do I find out what a is? Well, here I have 2 times a. But if I only want to know what 1 times a is, I need to divide this number by 2. Because if I divide 2 by 2, 2 divided by 2 equals 1. So it's 1a. That's exactly what I'm looking for. If I divide something here by 2, I need to do the same thing on the other side. So what do I get now? This is 1a, and 8 divided by 2 equals 4. And that's the answer to this problem. Now I have 2 times a plus 5 equals 13. First, I would like to get rid of this part. And we already know how to do that. So my new thing is 2 times a plus 5 minus 5 equals 13. And I do what I do here, I also do on the other side. Minus 5. What do I have left over? I have now left over 2 times a plus 5 minus 5, which is 0, equals 13 minus 5 is 8. And now I have to do my second step. I'm going to divide this by 2, and I'm going to divide this by 2. And what's left over is the same as in the previous problem. A is 4. Thank you for watching. If you want to learn more about it, you can watch the next lesson, or you can start practicing yourself.